And so, joyful Monday learners. So, today we will discuss our second topic in art. So, we are down to our second topic in our art subject. But before we proceed or before we discuss our topic, I prefer this activity game for all of you as an icebreaker before tayo mag-proceed sa discussion proper. So this game or this activity game is entitled Word Connect, wherein basically just jumbled letters. So there's a jumbled letters and you will just arrange it or form a word out of it. So yeah, let's start. So this is our first one. So out of this five letters, what can you form? So this is related to our topic this morning. So what can you form out of these letters or out of these jumbled letters? Five, four, three, two, one. All right, very good. So this one is later on we will discuss this Mecca. What is the relation of this place on our topic this morning? So later on, pag-aaralan natin yung mga yun. Next, form. What can you form out of these letters? Five, four, three, two, one. All right, very good. So this is strobe or twab. Later on pag-uusapan rin natin to, but this is related on the attire of the men's or the Saudi Arabian people, specifically the men's or ang mga lalakihan. Next, form. Out of these letters, five, four, three, two, one. Alright, very good. So this one is desert. So we all know that Saudi Arabia is madesierto, full of desert. So maraming lugar doon na desert talaga siya. Desierto talaga siya. So that will be the country that we will be discussing this morning. Last one na, but what can you guess out of these letters? Five, four, three, two, one. All right, very good. So this one is. So did you know that Saudi Arabia is Islamic religion? Islam ang kanilang religion, and we will be discussing yun doon mamaya. All right, meron. There's the last one pa. Okay. What can you form out of these letters? Out of these jumbled letters? Five, four, three, two, one. All right, very good. I hope you guess what this means or what word is this. So this one, absolute monarchy. So, Rina, sabi, di ba, napag-usapan natin yung desert, yung Islamic or Islam, because Saudi Arabia is a desert country. And it is the homeland of Islam, the world's largest religion. And they said that Saudi Arabia is an absolute monarchy until 1992 when the royal family introduced the country's first constitution based on the Sharia or dun sa kanilang Islamic law. Okay? And another pa is the discovery of its oil in 1936 made Saudi Arabia wealthy. So, one uh, factor kung bakit ang Saudi Arabia ay isa sa mga richest country up until now is because na-discover nila yung oil noong 1936. And we all know that oil is one of the important raw materials. Okay? Alright. So, based on the activity game that we played, those words are connected to our next topic today, and I know that you're getting a clue on what country is our next stop because I mentioned it na. As you can see on the picture, this country is futuristic. And did you know that this is the largest country in the Middle East? And ang 12 siya. It's a 12 largest on the world. And the capital of this country is Riyadh. So your instinct is correct. You heard me right. Alright? So our next stop will be Arabia. We will be discussing today the arts of Saudi Arabia. So sit back, relax as we explore its culture by studying their attire, their arts and crafts, their architecture, as well as their sculpture. Let's have a brief background about Saudi Arabia. So, aside what I mentioned earlier na siya yung pinaka-largest country sa Middle East and pang-12 naman sa buong mundo, ang Saudi and another pa is ang Saudi Arabia is the birthplace of the world's second largest religion. So ano ba yung second largest religion na yon? Sinabi ko na yun kanina, it is Islam. And Saudi Arabia is home to Islam's two holiest shrines in Mecca and Medina. Yung Mecca, this one is the holiest of Muslim cities where si Muhammad, yung kanilang founder or the founder of Islam, dito ipinanganak around 570 AD daw. And the Medina naman, this is the second holiest city in Islam and it is where Muhammad's body is entombed. Okay? So, Medina is celebrated as the place where Muhammad established the Muslim community, yung Ummah, after he fled in Mecca in 622 AD. And yung Mecca, this is the Mecca. So, the Mecca, it is a home to home to one of the world's largest annual gatherings. So, every year kasi, sinasabi na over 2 million Muslims daw yung nagme-make ng pilgrimage sa Mecca para i-perform yung kanilang Hajj. And sinabi nating Hajj, this is yung pang-5 sa five pillars of Muslim na lahat ng capable na adult Muslim ay inaasahan na makapunta at least once in a lifetime sa Hajj. Or, yun nga, makapunta sa Hajj or in Mecca. Yun yung makapunta sa Mecca. Okay, now let's proceed to our discussion proper. Let's first tackle their attires. Because Saudi Arabia's national attire follows the norms, the customs, the climatic conditions, and personal preference of the people. And Saudis prefer traditional dress over Western clothing. Because of this, kasi nga, dahil dun sa mga norms, tradition, mga customs, and dun sa klima na meron sila. And the national costume of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia also makes reference to the Muslim world. And Saudis are traditionally conservative in their dress. Up until now, ganun pa rin naman na napaka-conservative ng Saudi Arabia, especially pagdating sa pagdadress or pananamit, sa family structure, sa religion, and overall talaga, sa overall way of life nila. They are traditionally conservative. And trivia, sabi nila, I don't know if up until now applicable siya or up until now it's true, you can show your hair or hindi ka pwedeng makipag eye to eye sa mga men. And you cannot wear sleeveless tulad ng mga sinusuot natin dito sa Philippines, like the shorts, the sleeveless, the tubes, yung mga yon. You cannot wear it in Saudi Arabia, especially pag babae ka. Because parang kabastusan yun sa kanilang tradition or sa kanilang culture. Because again, Saudi Arabia is a traditionally conservative country, especially sa pananamit. In Saudi Arabia, ito yung kanilang mga attires. So, in Saudi Arabia, the men's traditional attire or the traditional costumes consist of an ankle-long shirt called thawb. Ayan. Ayan yung kanilang uh, attire pagdating sa lalaki. It is, again, pag sinabi natin thawb or thob, pag sinabi natin thawb, that is an ankle-long shirt called thawb. And meron rin silang tinatawag na long frock called bish. Mamaya papakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung bish. And yung kanilang headdress, which is the gutra. So remember class that thawb or thobe is a long loose shirt made from cotton. Okay? It is made from cotton. And it is a long sleeves hanggang ankle. So mahaba. And sinasabi nila, the color of a thawb is usually white because they are worn in summer. And winter naman, Saudis wear colorful wool thobes or thawbs. While the women naman, they wear what they call abaya. Okay? Pag sinabi natin abaya, black cloaks that loosely cover their entire bodies except yung kanilang heads. Basta tandaan lang na pag sa women, it consists of a long dress, an outer cloak called abaya. And pag sinabi natin cloak, ito yung outdoor overgarment. And yung mga women's then, or they have this called scarf called shaila. So, yan yung sa men. Yung headdress ng men is butra, and sa babae naman, ang headdress nila is shaila. So, okay? So, Saudi women always cover their body. Sometimes, di ba nga, they are conservative country. So, yung mga babae dito, they cover their body. And sometimes, they leave only yung kanilang faces. Yung face lang yung nakikita sa kanila, tsaka yung kanilang mga wrists. And some women leave only, nga, yung faces nila or yung iba talagang eyes lang yung makikita mo sa kanila. And before, some women use shaila and veils to cover their eyes or the whole face. And it is an old tradition to use veils. And people, before, nagsusot sila ng mga veils thousands of years ago na para protektahan yung kanilang eyes and yung kanilang mga skin sa init or sa hot sun and sun. Kasi knowing na Saudi Arabia nga, it is a desert country. Later on, it became a symbol of modesty and chastity. Again, yung pagsusuot nila ng shaila and veil, it became a symbol of modesty and chastity. And also pala class, sa mga men nga, the name of their headgear is gutra. So, yung gutra na yan, it is a rectangular cotton headdress. And it is also known as kufiya. And their traditional footwear was leather sandals. Okay? So, tandaan, ang kasuotan or attire ng men, traditional attire of men is thawb. Traditional attire of women is abaya. The headgear of men is gutta. And the headgear of women is shaila. And the traditional footwear was the leather sandals. one naman is the base. Ito yung base kanina. And ganito siya pag outer clock. Diba? Itong white. Yan, suot nila. Ito yung bob. And then this one, the brown one, this is the beige. So, the national outwear of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is worn over the bob. Ito nga yung beige. And very often, a beige is used for ceremonies, sa mga festive occasions, and it is made of wool or camel hair. And earlier, Saudis used to wear beige for traveling and ginagamit nila as blanket pag gabi. This one, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na veil. So, ganito yung pagsuot nila. So, this one, like what I've told you a while back, women of Saudi Arabia wear veil as in parang ang makikita mo na lang sa kanila is eyes. And this one signifies their modesty and virtue. And it became their cultural symbol. Aside from that, nga, yung pinakaunang purpose nito is to protect them sa sun because we all know that in Saudi is mainit, full of desert. Because Saudi is a desert. So, may tinatawag din silang mutawa. So, teacher, ano naman po yung mutawa? It is an attire? No. It is not an attire because mutawa is Islamic religious police. So, mutawa is tasked with enforcing Islamic religious law na yung Sharia in public places. Ibig sabihin, this includes rules forbidding unrelated males and females to socialize in public. Diba kanina sabi ko, you cannot eye to eye with men. If you're a girl or women, you cannot eye to eye with men. So, it is forbidden then na makipag-usap or makipag-socialize in public, lalo na kung you are not related at all. So, yung mutawa, yan yung trabaho nila. They are taga-bawal. So, they are forbidding unrelated males and females to socialize in public, as well as a dress code that encourage women to wear a veil covering all but their eyes. Kailangan sinusunod ng men and women yung kanilang dress code. Pag hindi, ayan, yung mutawa. Sila yung mag-correct. So, before tayo mag-proceed, it is an ankle-length cotton or woolen garment with long sleeve. Ano yon? Alright, very good. I hope na-answer nyo, no? So, this one is bob. Ito yung ankle-length cotton or woolen garment with long sleeves na traditional attire of men. All the black cloths that loosely cover the entire bodies of a Saudi Arabian women except their heads. Alright, very good. So, this one is abaya. What is the traditional footwear of Saudi Arabian people? Okay, what is the traditional footwear of Saudi Arabian people? Alright, very good. So, this one is leather sandals. Teacher, bakit hindi boots? Teacher, bakit? Kasi nga, desert country yon. So, mas applicable yung leather. Okay, now let's proceed to their arts and crafts. The arts and crafts of Saudi Arabia are shaped by its Islamic heritage and Bedouin tradition. And ang representation ng mga animals or human beings is prohibited. Kaya yung mga Islamic artists ay natutunan na gumamit ng mga ornamental designs and decorations using yung mga stylish na geometric pattern, mga floral, and mga dahon-dahon or mga leaf. Na nga, sa kanilang arts and crafts ay ang weaving. From camel shoulder, di ba? Ito yung dun sa shoulder ng camel, ito yung nilalagay nila na parang tela. So, from camel shoulder decoration, hence, the Saudis of the past weave everything. As in, weave nila lahat. And the prominent design in Bedouin weaving is yung longitudinal stripes in plain. Ito, yung ganito, yung pahaba lang. yung pahaba tapos stripes, ganon. Usually yung mga wini-weave nila is mga curtains, mga saddlebags, mga blankets, pillows, mga damit, and bags were also weaved by the Bedouins. Para di kayo malito, when we say Bedouins, they are the nomadic Arab tribes who have historically inhabited the desert regions in the Arabian Peninsula or Arabian Peninsula. Okay? Calligraphy. So, calligraphy has a history dating back 1400s years to the first century of Islam. And it is highly regarded in Saudi Arabia. Bakit? Kasi yung calligraphy, it is regarded as the essence of Islamic art. Teacher, bakit po? Kasi yung Holy Quran has historically been its main theme. Okay? So, yung parang naging main theme daw ng pag-calligraphy nila is yung Holy Quran. So, are rare manuscripts na ginagathered and dinidisplay sa mga Saudi museum. So, ganito yung mga halimbawa ng kanilang calligraphy. Next, have jewelry. Kung yung mga lalaki, they are into rights and swords, ang mga women naman, they adorn themselves with jewelry. So, Saudi women would wear armbands, mga anklets, earrings, nose rings, and even belts and head jewelry. Tulad ng nakikita niyo sa inyong screen. So, these were also considered the sign of a woman's status and wealth. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung marami kang abubot sa katawan, marami kang jewelry sa katawan, it signifies your status. It signifies your wealth. Okay? So, kaya dito, yung mga babae, parang nawili silang magsuot ng mga jewelry. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga Arabian people, meron ng lahas sa may noo, meron pa sa may anklet, meron pa sa may wrist, meron pa sa may necklace, and such. So, geometric shapes and pictorial symbols like crescents and shapes are common motifs ng kanilang mga jewelry. And colorful jewels and glass were also commonly used sa mga jewelry. Okay? Arts and crafts of Saudi Arabia is they also have their own basket that is made from palm fiber, from palm leaf, and grass blades would be used to make circular mats and mga baskets. And the most decorative baskets, sinasabi nila na matatagpuan daw yon sa Asir region. Usually, yung kanilang mga design are star and zigzag patterns. Yung common sa kanilang mga basket and ginagamit yon as storage. And they have this, kung tawagin, ay dowry basket, the one on the right side, saan this is most commonly found in the Qatif region. So, this basket would be used by brides to carry their dowry. This would be carried on the head with the smaller basket on top. So, if you are not familiar with the dowry, ito yung, before magpakasal, ito yung binibigay sa family or sa magulang. Okay? Or this is the last one. This is the incense burners. So, majority of Saudi homes still use this nowadays, and it is used to be made of wood with brass decoration and the shallow part covered in lead. So, they would also have side mirror patterns. And in some areas, clay was used to make incense burners. So, yun yung kanilang mga incense burners. Okay, we're now down to their architecture. Lapit na. So, Saudi Arabia's architecture, which represents the distinctiveness of Arabian culture, is naka-tailored sa kanilang country's climate and geography. And it has a Mediterranean and subtropical desert climate, and it is situated on the Arabian Peninsula in Western Asia. And in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the architecture and construction techniques uh, vary along with the climate. So, now let's see kung paano ba yung architecture ng Saudi Arabia. The architecture of Saudi Arabia is a combination of many influences. Sinasabi na first, comes or it influence from Egypt or sa Mesopotamia, and later from Mediterranean culture. But the most vivid features of Saudi Arabian architecture is the concentration of the interior space rather than the exterior space. Ibig sabihin, mas binavalue nila kung ano yung nasa loob or inside the house, hindi lang kung ano yung outside. For example, the picture you're seeing in your screen on the left side, the exterior design is very plain and simple. But on the right side, yung kanyang interior or sa loob ay napakagarbo or extravagant. Mas maganda and detailed. They believe kasi na mas important yung what is inside rather than what is outside. They value the inside. Mga Saudi Arabian houses, they also have an inner yard where they can have a place for relaxation. This is meant not only for privacy, but to meet growing family needs. So, yan yung kanilang inner yard. Next, a typical design of houses in Saudi Arabia, they have wooden screens, or they called it mashrabiya. If you've been to the historical Balad district, then you have already seen what traditional doors, windows look like. So, they are usually painted with geometric patterns and are made from flat wood panels o nakalabas na bintana o window. And yung function nito is to provide a private place and harangan yung sunlight para ma-maintain yung room temperature na cool. Okay? So that is Mashrabia. This one is additional info. You better take down notes. So this one is the Cuba Mosque. So Masjid Cuba is the first mosque in Islamic history, and it can be found, this one, hindi ko pala siya na-flash, and it can be found in Medina, Saudi Arabia. So they said that this was built by the Prophet Muhammad, and it's believed to be where the first Friday prayers were held. Ayan pala. Sulat pala siya dyan. Ayan yung QB Mosque. So, matatagpuan siya sa Medina, Saudi Arabia, and they believe that this is the first mosque that can be accurately dated and is described in the Islamic holy book, the Quran. So, this is the first mosque. So, ngayon, this is the oldest mosque na din in Saudi Arabia. And this was built by the Prophet Muhammad, and it is believed to be where the first Friday prayers were held. We also have Riyadh buildings. So, ito yung mga nagsisilakihang buildings sa Saudi Arabia due to the wealth from oil resources na apektuhan yung kanilang architectural design. But still, kahit ganun pa man, they are trying to keep it balanced between modern and traditional. So, you may search sa Google yung mga Riyadh buildings and skyscrapers. Napakagaganda. So, pwede siyang malista sa ating bucket list. Mecca. So, a while back, I said that Saudi Arabia is home to Islam's two holiest shrine, and isa na nga doon si Mecca. And Mecca is home to one of the world's largest annual gatherings because every year, over 2 million Muslims make a pilgrimage to Mecca to perform the Hajj, which is considered the fifth and final pillar of Islam, wherein every capable adult Muslim is expected to complete at least one Hajj in their lifetime. Or at least once in a lifetime man lang ay makapunta sila dito sa Mecca. See, let's look at their sculpture. Their sculpture, like architecture, also shows a fusion of outside influences, especially sa Mediterranean. So these are their sculpture. So, ayan. So, we have stills. So, yung stills na yan, it is a carved stones memorial monument. So, ganyan yung itsura niya. Also have devotional statues wherein it is a freestanding carved in alabaster, and lastly we have frieze. I don't know is it if it is a frieze or frieze. So it is with Arabian motifs. So ganito yung frieze or frieze. So this one usually nakikita siya into sa mga buildings. Okay. Tapos nakaukit siya. Ganon. Buildings, tapos may mga pillars, tapos nakaukit yan. So, this is their sculpture. I think that's it for our discussion for today about the arts and crafts of Saudi Arabia. And I'm hoping that this morning naging makabuluhan yung inyong paggising. I hope you learned something about our discussion. So, after watching this pre-recorded video before you take a rest or you prepare for your afternoon classes, please accomplish the activity followed by this pre-recorded video. So, thank you everyone. Have a nice day and God bless.